All right, everyone, welcome back to the Performance Matters podcast. I'm Matrixx, here with Coach Myles. First, big shout out to our sponsor, Peat Method Photography, the premier sportsographer in the Niagara region. If you want to check him out, go to peatmethodphotography.com or send me an email at peatmethodphotography@gmail.com. Support local. Awesome dude. All right, first, starting off, a couple big wins, honestly. I think the biggest one that we were talking about pretty much all week when this will come out is the River Lions back-to-back champions.
Huge.
Right? Huge.
Historical.
Historical. And when I was at the bar last night, like the celebration party, big turnout actually. I got there like an hour early just to save parking. But like huge turnout for the fans. Everyone was very excited. Like, players showed up, they were signing everything, and then I was talking to Coach Vic. He's like, the second one was more of like a relief, is what he said. The first one was like, okay, finally, we finally did it. The second was like more of like a, oh, thank God, like we did it again.
Playing with a target on your back, which is so hard to do. So hard to do. It's so different, like even talking to Coach Vic, like it's so different when you're actually the ones chasing something. We were still obviously chasing it, but just having that whole different, all the media, like there's so much media, like these guys are pretenders. These guys aren't really,
they're talking shit.
Exactly. A lot of people are talking shit, and it's just a whole added element, I guess, or a whole added layer of, stuff you got to work through as we're trying to pursue that next championship.
Yeah, and he mentioned the same thing, like three-peat obviously is going to be on the horizon. Everyone's kind of talking about the three-peat now.
Yeah.
I remember just sitting there, we were talking last night. I'm like, well, what would the Carleton mentality be? Because Carleton created a basketball dynasty, right? There's a lot of dynasties from different programs. But it's like, what were they thinking, right? It's like, well, this is expected now. So it's like, in my mind, I'm like, if you think that winning is going to be expected, like the performance is going to be expected, then now you can narrow it's like aim small, miss small. Yeah. You know what I mean? Like if you narrow your focus, we're like, we're going to expect it to win. We can focus on dominating our games and really blowing guys out of the water by 20 points.
Yeah.
I think if you kind of set that as like your prime target on this three-peat journey, by default, you'll still win, but maybe by smaller margins. So even if you miss, you're still closer to the grouping that you want to be around, right? So I think he has that mindset too, and we were chatting about it last night. But, he's excited. The organization's excited. So a lot of big wins for those guys, and they're all flying back now and doing their thing. But, it's been a hell of a season. I'm excited to, see what the next year brings for these guys. Hopefully we can get a lot of the same returners. And then go from there. And then obviously our university guys and girls are now back at training camp. So big shout out to all of them. They did a hell of a job this summer. They put in a lot of work. We saw some great improvements, some great performances. Some people made some great stepping stones to the next level of where they want to be at. Big shout out everyone watching. Like all y'all did a fantastic job this summer, and the best is yet to come. Our work's not done yet, but they all put in a lot of work, and I think that just goes to show, right? Like I think the biggest thing is, I was talking to Vic last night too about like the Ethier brothers, right? Carter and Quinn. And the difference that, Vic brought up, he's like, oh, I noticed like a big difference in Carter. I was like, yeah, I just saw him at the gym last night, and he was floating, like he was doing things, like he was like, looked like a gymnast almost. Like, he's more athletic. He's got a bigger build. And
bigger body moving better, right?
Yeah, he's a bigger body moving better.
That's ironic. People are like, oh, you guys are strength guys. Like, oh, are we?
No, he's moving better. Like Vic notices it.
Yeah.
So it was really cool to kind of get like that. Yeah, like he's doing the things. But what I think changed, I think what a lot of people need to understand is, Carter at the beginning of the summer, I would argue is kind of just like, not skeptical or timid, but more just like, I don't know if he was like fully bought into the training process. You know what I mean? I don't know if he really loved that, the work. I don't know if he actually loved this kind of cutting his teeth a little bit. But that changed. I don't know what point it changed, but there's a point where like he started to really love just showing up to do the work. Like, he wasn't, it was never about setting records, all this other stuff. He just loved being in the room to get better. Like that is like the big ticket piece. If you can have someone, guy or girl, like learn to love the process itself, it makes all those other wins so much easier, right? It's not so outcome based. Like that'll be a byproduct of just your passion for improvement, right? Like I'm here to work and get better. I'm going to practice these skills and enjoy doing it at the same time. Learning skills, being open-minded, all that kind of shit. So, like that's, I think, the message for a lot of these kids is like, you're not going to love everything, but if you could just learn to love the process of training, like you're just opening up a whole new door of possibilities that you can really find out what you're truly capable of doing.
Right.
You know what I mean?
That's probably the biggest part, because most people are capable of way more than they actually think, right? A lot of people have these self-limiting beliefs, and it kind of reiterates too, like, as an athlete, you can completely change your life in a summer.
Yeah.
A dedicated, hardworking summer. We're not selling quick fixes, or I don't mean to spin it that way, but you can set a very good foundation or develop some very good fucking habits in one hard, directed, purposeful summer of training that could set the rest of your athletic career up for success, right? As long as you obviously continue those habits that you've established.
Yeah.
One summer can change your life, can absolutely change the trajectory of your whole entire athletic career.
Yeah. And the thing is, like, the summer, it doesn't stop now, right? Like,
right.
all of our kids that are going off to training camp, it's not going to stop, right? It's just simply now integrating the same process, the same training style into now their busy schedule of practices, games, tournaments, travel days, all that kind of stuff. I think now I want to kind of shift because now we're going into the in-season. We're kind of ramping up now. We're going to get all our ducks in a row for what's going to be a very busy fall and winter semesters. I wanted to kind of talk a little bit about. I think I really want to cater this to parents now because I really want to get like parents. I think are sometimes misinformed for whatever reasons. I don't think it's from a lack of knowing it sometimes, but I think maybe there's just too much information or someone's telling them something. And I'll tell you a story. Like the other day, a parent mentioned, their kid's going to try to get big D1 offers. Like they have a lot of opportunity and all these things. I'm like, okay, great. So they have to get a certain performance metric to get looks, I guess. But then the excuses come as to why they can't do the things they're supposed to do, right? Like they start making almost excuses for them, which, I'm not disregarding how hard some of these things might be, but at the same time,
you think it's easy once you get there?
It's never going to be easier. And at the end of the day, there's a reality of like the truth is it's going to take what it takes. Like it doesn't matter if you're too busy. Like you think you're the only athlete that's studying for exams, that's going to have practices, that has to do all those. This is not new. Right. And then what really just kind of like got on my skin is like, oh, well, they have like, they're doing like stuff at the club, whatever like that. And they're getting their training. I'm like, yes, but it's not what, again, we've preached this multiple times. It's not what you're doing. It's how you're doing it. We say the same thing. We train teams too. There's a bunch of athletes in a team, all with different abilities and different, constraints and weak points. You can't cater everything to everybody, but at least there's a structured system that makes sense for what they're doing. And then you have, it blows my mind too that you're willing to put them in a practice with a structured coach to get them better. And then a key component piece of it being the physical capacity, physical realm of it. And then your solution is going to be, send them to the weight room and just let them do their own thing. It's like, that to me blows my mind. Like you're going to practice, whether on the volleyball court, basketball, whatever, right? But you're going to put them in a weight room where shit can kill them. You'll be fine on your own. You'll have some guy that like, oh yeah, I lifted weights when I was in high school. I could show him. You're just like, where the fuck is that coming from?
It kind of goes back to like
holy fuck.
The analogy I like to use is like we're helping the kids build the engine of the car, and then the coaches teach them how to drive it.
Yeah.
So now it's like these parents are kind of saying like, okay, my kid just got their G1. Now I'm not going to hire a driving instructor. I'm just going to let their other high school buddy who also has their G1, like they'll just teach each other. They'll figure it out. Oh my God. They'll be fine. Oh and in no world would that make any sense. You'd be like, of course not. They need a driving instructor. They need to know the rules of the road. They need to know how to be safe. Like, how's a weight room any different?
It's not. It to me, it's like by that definition, like, okay, you're going to send them on the gym on their own. Okay, yeah, here, just go lift some weights, like train. It's like, well, would you do that with practice? Like if you truly told me like, oh, my kid is getting D1 looks, so why are you going to fucking half-ass any facet of what they're doing if they have potential?
So he or she will just play basketball in gym class.
Exactly.
Or baseball or whatever. Yeah,
it's like, oh, we did basketball practice at gym class. I'm going to skip practice. Are you fucked?
Yeah.
It's like, how in the world does that make sense? It's like, if you truly think that, and he or she is capable of doing that, why would you leave that one faucet up to chance? That's like just letting them like, okay, I'll let them buy McDonald's every day for the food, or they can go to bed at 2 a.m. It's like, where in the world do you think that's going to help them get to where they want to get to?
Right.
And why are we half-assing the one faucet? And I would argue a faucet that could kill them,
right,
if not coached and done it. Again,
things can go very wrong.
Things can go very wrong in the weight room.
Lifting weights is not dangerous. Lifting weights dangerously is dangerous.
Yes, it's to me it makes no sense. So you're like, okay, I get it. They have like weightlifting classes at school and all that stuff.
Like you said, though, ran by who?
Ran by who? And I'm not saying like some weightlifting classes are run by teachers that might know some stuff. That's fine, all well and good. But you compare to like, how are we doing the thing? Are we training or are we just working out? Right? Are we just kind of throwing random stuff together and that's fine. But if you're going to tell me that we're looking to get to D1, where they're going to have a collegiate strength conditioning and performance program, and they're going to expect you to know certain things and be prepared, and you haven't had any experience doing that, you're shooting yourself in the foot.
Right.
You're shooting yourself in the foot. And it's like, well, again, why are we half-assing a crucial faucet? It blows my mind. They have no. We have to like really debunk myths for parents here. Like we have to debunk the time. They have no time. It's like no, you have to make time.
Yeah,
you make
it
time.
does not get easier.
It does not get easier.
It just doesn't.
You make time to go to practice, right? I get it. Kids are young. Like parents have to drive them. It's like, but that's the life you agreed to and signed up for. If this is something that they want to pursue, that's what you're signing up for. No one feels bad for you. You don't want to be going that. That's fine too. Then manage your expectations and then just let it ride. But don't say you want those things. You can't have both. You can't have both. It's going to be a sacrifice like everyone else who's striving for the same fucking thing. So we have to debunk that time. I get it. Everyone's busy. Fuck off. It takes what it takes. Make the time. Make the time to drive to practice. Hockey players have practice sometimes at 9 o'clock at night. You think parents want to fucking drive?
And a lot of them are not even playing for their local club either.
Exactly.
So it's like far away and late.
So you really think that the parents want to drive? No. And I get it. That is exhausting. But then coach is going to feel bad for you. Like, next man up. Next man's going to get the opportunity. Like, sorry, that is what we all agreed to. Practice at this time. Yes. That's
ready, willing, and able.
That is it. It's like, we agreed, practice at this time, up to you to make it work. If you're not there, next man will be there. Same thing. It's like, hey, we have lifts twice a week. We're at this time, this place, make it work. You don't show up, it's like, that's a crucial part you're missing. You're showing you're missing it. So why is it any different, right? So the time, it has to go out the fucking door. The excuses have to go out the fucking door. Parents need to listen and just be like, this is what my kid is signed up for. If this is what they're striving to do long term, we have to just do it.
Right.
We have to do it. We can't half-ass and be like, oh, well, this is easier. I'll throw them in the weight room at school on their own, and they can do that. That's a terrible idea.
Right.
That's an awful idea. You would never do that with anything else. You wouldn't let them go drive a car on their own for the first time without being properly instructed. You would never let them go to gym class and say, oh, I'm just going to go volleyball practice. There's no other faucet where that makes sense.
Right.
So why does it make sense with shit that could go bad in a heartbeat if not done properly? And furthermore, if we're complaining that time is such a constraint, how are we not maximizing it? So it's like, if I only have 2 hours a week to lift, why would I half-ass those 2 hours, not doing something random just to say I checked the fucking box?
Right. That might actually make you worse.
It might make you worse.
Not only might this is gonna sound crazy, but not only might it not make you better, it actually might make you worse. It very likely could make you worse.
It's just I don't. There's always gonna be someone that tells them otherwise. Okay, so there's gonna be someone that tells them otherwise, but it's time. Okay, I get it. Make it work. Cut the excuses. If this is something the kid wants to do, and they are striving to that level, and there's potential there, you're going to have to just do the things that are required to do. This is not new, right? Otherwise, manage your expectations and proceed accordingly. And 3, how are we doing it, right? You go to practice a certain way. You go to certain coaches for a certain thing because they have these skills and ability to help your athlete get better. They pretty much have the ability to put a layer of individualization when necessary to say, here are your relative weak links. No different than how we do it, right? Like how we get someone faster, stronger, bigger is going to be different from athlete to athlete based on all their builds, their abilities, their constraints, etc. So knowing all that, you go to certain clubs that can develop you to be a better athlete within your own realm. So why the hell we half-ass it with just checking the box with this supplementary side of physical capability? It makes no sense. There's no intent there.
Right.
You're essentially saying, fuck it, we're checking the boxes. Yeah, let them do that. I'm like, oh my God. And then you wonder. But then again, when things eventually don't go right or they don't get what they want, they're going to be saying, well, it's like, no, sorry. You made a decision to not do the things that you probably knew you had to do.
Yeah, after all that time. It just didn't work out. It just wasn't in the cards. It could have been.
It just didn't work out. So it's like, is your kid training to get better or are they just working out or are they just sweating?
Right.
You know what I mean? Like, what are we doing? So like, I don't know. The message to parents is going to be, you're in for a ride. If your kid is, trying to excel at their sport and they're trying to get to the next level, being like D1 pro, whatever it is, understand what that's going to, be required of you as a parent to be like essentially like the taxi driver and the bank and everything else like that. So understand what you're getting yourself into. Number 2, don't make excuses for your kids. Don't, right? Don't make excuses for your kids. Help them learn to be autonomous and really help them understand like if this is something they wish to excel at, these are some of the things that are going to be, look at the best athletes, what they're doing. You don't believe me? Like Coach Kitch said too, like take your kid to like a Team Canada practice, take them to university practice, take them to like a university and look and say, hey, look, this is what their day-to-day looks like. Talk to other parents of university athletes. Hey, what's their schedule look like? How was it for you during their club years? Get some information so it's not like a big shock to the system. And then don't believe the bullshit because it's easier. Don't believe the bullshit because you think it's easy.
Yeah.
Like, oh, they're busy. They have to study for this. we'll just kind of throw them and do that stuff. It's like,
it's just so crazy to think if you've gone and done all that reflection with these other parents, like it took XYZ kid, like all these things. My kid will just get there with all these other less things though. Like we'll be fine. Like, yeah, it took this for everyone else. Yeah, you guys all needed all these different efforts, but like we'll be okay if we just do half of that effort and we'll just figure it out.
No,
like, how do you believe that's going to happen? How does that make any sense?
I don't know. I don't know where that information came from. And that's the other thing too. It's like, where is that information coming from? What made you think that was the way? Like, who along the way told you that that's the way to do things?
That's what I'm saying. The proof of concept is like, hey, the path looks like this, whether you like it or not. And you're just deciding, like, we're just going to take a different path and, like, we'll probably get there too, or leaving it up to chance, right?
Oh, and there's countless examples. Again, we were talking a couple weeks ago, a coach walks in talking about his group, and, they're, grade 10 or something like that, whatever it may be. And his plan was, but again, making an excuse for the parents, which I get it. There's logistics that have to be considered. But you do the best you can knowing that that's a part of being a high-performance team. Like I said, for hockey and basketball, it's no different. Coaches don't care. It's like, practice at this time, at this place, be there. Find a way. If you can't do it, you're off the team.
Right.
That's reality. So now you have a coach making excuses for parents, like, oh, they got to drive their kid. They got to do this. They don't even have to go 3 practices a week. I'm just like, okay, this is not new, but okay, I get it. So you do your best to schedule these things, but it's possible and it has to be done. It just has to be done. We're a high-performance team. It has to get done. So your solution is going to be, well, we have a guy that, he did some stuff. He can write it. We'll just throw him in the weight room. Again, where in the world did you think that's a good idea?
I got a guy who's brushed his teeth a couple times. He can be your dentist.
Like, where in the world does that make sense?
I got a guy who's driven a car once or twice, changed his own oil. He could be your mechanic.
I shot a couple free throws. I'm going to go run your basketball practice.
Right.
I'm going to go run basketball practice because I did it a couple. Are you fucking mad? Are you fucking mad? That's the worst idea you could ever fucking have. You're going to throw them in a room that is more dangerous than a court or a field where things that are heavy could fall, kill them. They could do shit wrong and break their shit. And that's your solution?
Yeah. I'm
like, oh my God. But again, where did that come from? Where in their minds did they get the information to rationalize that is okay, that that's a good idea, right? Like, I don't understand that, and I don't know how to clarify that.
I think getting it right from the horse's mouth, like you said, from the parents, from the, say, university athletes and the parents of the university athletes, getting it straight from the horse's mouth in that regard, understanding what it kind of took, will kind of help, right? Because, like I said, I don't know. All too often, it's just, it's like, okay, that's what the path looked like for you, but I guess we'll just do it our way and we'll just figure it out. Like, all those university athletes would tell you, when you get to university, no matter what sport you're playing, like, the game itself gets so much harder. The competition, the systems. Do you not want to take one thing off your plate and at least show up there physically ready? Knowing that the tactical is going to be harder, knowing that the technical is going to be harder, knowing that the pressure is going to be higher. Like, if you can minimize one thing, how about minimize the shock of that physical demand, right? Both the skill aspect of the weight room and the actual physicality itself.
Yeah, it's going to be has to be anyway.
Right? It's going to happen anyway. At least if you can go in with one less thing that blindsides you, like, would you not want to do that?
Yeah.
That's what I said. It was one of our first podcasts. I said, like, yes, we want to chase all these metrics and get the kids better, but my biggest, I guess, proudest thing is when I send kids away to a school and the strength coach hits me up and said, like, oh, wow, you did a great job with him or her because I don't really have to teach them anything. We can just train.
Yeah.
Right? Like, so for the kid and then for that coach, that's how we establish relationships in this industry. It's like, now that's one less stupid thing they got to worry about, and now they can just play ball, just play hockey, like whatever, right?
Yeah, and again, not to toot our own horn, but we have enough experience in skin the game from a variety of athletes, from a variety of backgrounds and levels to justify, I would hope, a pedigree that says, we kind of know what we're talking about. We've seen this before. This is not the first time we've seen this.
Well, all our college kids are pretty much back to school now. How many texts have you got this week from kids being like, wow, I just smashed your
Crush
test?
Camp, yeah.
50 texts I can read out to you?
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Camp.
It's like,
the coaches are impressed with our kids. So it's like,
and not once have I been surprised. I said, yeah, you did crush it. I'm sure you did.
Exactly.
I would expect nothing less,
exactly.
and you would deserve nothing less.
So going back to this coach that, like I said, he wants, we'll start with them next year when they're older. It's like, so that means
we're gonna give them another. What it means? Sorry to cut you off. What it means? We're gonna give them another year to develop more bad habits that you're gonna have to fix next year.
Yeah,
and we're gonna waste a year of development that you're gonna have to try to catch up with next year. That's what it means.
Because that means by the time they get to the age, I'll be in charge of that age, and I'll be like, I have to go back to basics because we didn't learn anything.
Yeah,
and
not the kid's fault.
Not the kid's fault. It's
right.
it's the bullshit that the coach or the parents just rationalize in their head. I'm not disregarding that it's going to be hard or challenging. There is a way to make it work, and it's going to be talking about we're going to have to sacrifice some things here, and just do it. But what we talk about that anyway with athletics, like a lot of sacrifice. You got to sacrifice going out. So it's like if you're asking these athletes to sacrifice things that normal kids might do, right? Not going out, going to bed early, have to wake up early. Why the fuck aren't the coaches willing to sacrifice their own bullshit and be like, no, like this is how it is. Like this is logistics. We're gonna have to do these things because we believe in developing a high performance team.
Right.
And
the most successful kids and parents of kids that we have, they find ways like they carpool. Like they, I have to drive my kid every night. Well, you probably don't have to because another parent will probably drive and you can carpool and you can find solutions. Like, you know what I mean? Rationalize being an adult.
It's like, like anything else. Like,
you don't actually have to drive 7 nights a week probably because I'm sure you can get a fucking carpool going of 4 or 5 parents and you can figure it out.
There's always a way.
And the best ones do figure it out.
Of course, we have multiple examples. But again, we have the pedigree. Again, not tooting our own horn, but at the same time, we have a lot of experience. We've seen this shit. So it kind of like, it makes me scratch my head again. Like, where'd you guys get the information? It's like, I have alone more pro guys, more D1 guys and girls at higher levels than you have ever developed. And I'm sitting here listening to you telling me how to do what I'm doing.
Right.
I'm like, I'm always open to learning. But from what you're saying, from my experience, that sounds like a fucking terrible idea and a bunch of bullshit.
Yeah, awful
that sounds like an awful idea and a whole bunch of bullshit. And then when you say, like, I heavily disagree, well, it's like, hey, man, do what you want to do. But I don't see this ending well. And then when it does have to fall in my lap and fix it again, it's like it's going to take more time. And then we're not going to you have to manage your expectations again. This is not the fucking first time, right? It's like, stop justifying bullshit. It's hard. That's part of it, right? Make the time. It's not about, I got to find time. No, make the fucking time, right? Communicate the expectations. And then they have to find a way. Find a way. If you don't, next man up. This is what we're doing. You just have to set the mandate. If you're the high performance team, this is what we're doing. Right? Because there's always like, practice at 7, 8 o'clock at night. Oh, I don't know if I can make it. It's like, too bad. Then you're off the team.
That's okay, but then see ya.
See ya. Then that's fine. But then you have a decision to make because we're going to make a decision.
Yeah.
So it's like, stop rationalizing the bullshit, right? Like, parents, hold yourself accountable to find better information and understand what you're getting into. Coaches that don't know about the sport performance development, total strength and conditioning, ask better questions and look for solutions and not excuses. We tell our athletes all the time, like, I can't because is an end statement.
Yeah,
how can I
yeah.
is a question that can drive solutions. So come to the table with better questions that will help derive solutions, not come here and say, well, I can't because, but it's like, okay, then fuck off and go do your thing. That's fine too, but manage your expectations.
Right.
And don't tell me otherwise because, again, we have a pedigree. We've seen a lot of things and all this stuff. We're always open to learning, but we've seen success and failures leave clues. We've seen enough of those. So it's like the track that the words you're saying fall in line with the track of this is not going to end well, right? This is not actually going to make them any better. Let's not do that. How about we just do the thing that we know we can do well, right? And make it work. Stop falling for bullshit excuses and rationalizing. I don't know how else to say it. Like it's too common.
It is great. It's like go ahead and ask a 5-star chef how to cook a steak. And they'll probably give you 4 or 5 different really good ways to cook a steak.
Yeah.
And then you turn around and go, you know what? I think I'm just gonna throw it in the microwave. I'm just gonna throw it in the microwave. I'm gonna kill the bacteria. It's gonna be edible. I'm just gonna cook it. And then the fucking chef goes, I really don't think that's a good idea. That's actually an awful idea. You say, no. You know what? It's okay. I've ate some other meals out of the microwave before. It's gonna be good. I put the reheated pasta in there. Tasted good. You know what? Here comes my steak. And then you know what they're gonna say? I'm not gonna be able to fix it after because you already ruined it. Okay. You know what? It's gonna be the same thing with some of these athletes, unfortunately, right? It takes 2 or 3 times the amount of reps to fix a shitty pattern than it does to just learn a good one in the first place.
Yeah.
That's like a scientific fact, right?
Again, it goes back to if time is the issue, time's always going to be a fucking issue. Time's always going to be, everyone's busy. How are we maximizing it? Mm-hmm. And then if you build shitty habits.
That's the first thing. Are you maximizing the time you do have?
Yeah.
Instead of asking to add time, exactly.
Then the time I do get them with. Now I have to fix all the bullshit or re-ingrain new shit. It's like, if we're starting in season, we already have a limited window on top of everything else to build and develop, right? It's going to be a tougher road. So why are you going to make it that much harder by delaying another year, right? Or making up more excuses? Like,
as I was saying, it's a year of bad habits and a year of lacking what development could have happened, right?
Yeah, it's not even salesy. It's not like a salesy thing for me. It's not about the money. We have a history of success, right? We have a history of success with our athletes, and they're dominating at camps. Yeah. Coaches get looks, drafts, whatever. We have a history of doing that for a reason. So I would like to say that any advice I give, right, any perspective I give, while open to interpretation, has some merit to help guide the athlete based on the scenario at hand. Right? That's what matters. Like you go to your financial advisor. Why? Because they probably have experience doing things. So their word probably has some merit, and some advice that might have some merit. And then you can decide what you want to do. There should be no surprises based on the outcome. Right? Like anything else. You go to a mechanic, when you hear a noise in your car, you go to your dentist, you go to a doctor. There's a reason you go to these people for certain concepts. So why is sport performance any different? I truly believe that we are the best in the region. I would argue sometimes in the half the province down here, right? With our knowledge and our history of doing these things. We've seen enough shit. We've seen a lot of successes. We've seen a lot of failures. And we have a lot of experience of getting kids ready for the next level, whatever that level looks like for them. So it's frustrating when coaches just think they can do it on their own. And maybe you can, but then how are you doing it? Because you already know time's a constraint. So your solution is like, we'll do it this way. But then you're essentially pissing away time doing it probably not the optimal way, right? It's like, okay, what are you going to do? We're going to do 3x10 leg press. We're going to go 3x10 row, 3x10. It's like, so you have an hour, you had an hour, and you decided to do all that shit, and that's what's going to make it better. It's like, how's that working for you? Not great? Well, fuck. Now you just pissed away 2 hours a week, right. And now you pissed away a season doing that. So it's like, it's not even like the what they're doing, although it's some of the what they're doing. It's just, how are we doing it?
Yeah.
And knowing that we have those constraints of times, like then we have to maximize. We have to find a way to be more purposeful with what we do, how we do. So knowing that, it's like, there's a reason we exist. There's a reason that our profession exists. There's a reason, like skills coaches. Hockey players have coaches. They also have skill coaches. Basketball has skill coach. Why? They exist for a reason. Why? Because they're the ones that get to split the hairs and say, hey, here's the relative weak link in your chain. I've seen this before. Here's how we're going to fix your issue, right? Because again, they want to get faster and quicker too. But again, how they get faster and everything else is different from athlete to athlete.
And the skills coach is really just going to take the physicality they have and help them express it.
Exactly.
Keyword being the physicality they have. If you have no physicality, what are you expressing, right?
It's literally like the Monsters Inc. analogy, right? Mike Wazowski, right? Knows everything there is about scaring. He is the textbook. He knows everything on how to scare. He's just not fucking scary.
Yeah.
Right? So it's like, if you fucking bulk him up past the eye test, now he can be scary.
Right.
Same concept. You be the most tactical. If you are optimizing your skill on the ice, on the court, on the field, or the boat, whatever it is, the next low-hanging fruit is, are you physical enough to keep doing the thing at a higher level? Can you put more force into what you're already technically proficient at? If not, that's honestly one of the easiest things to fucking fix.
Right.
That's easier. I'd rather have that problem than the other one where like you have this physical machine and they look like Tarzan and play like Jane. Right?
I think I agree with how you said, like, a lot of time it's so much more how they're doing it than what they're doing, because it's crazy how many kids will come to us and be like, oh, I'm doing the team program. It's jumps, it's cleans, it's squats, it's rows, and then you have a little bit of hope. You're like, oh, so like, what's the session look like? And they're like, well, okay, so we do our cleans, like 5 sets of 10, and then we do our box jumps for like 4 sets of like 30 seconds, and then we do our squats, and that's like 5 sets, and then it's like, oh my god, like you were almost so close.
Yeah, you had it,
and it was so far away. We do our squats, our 5 sets of 20 squats after that. Then because we need endurance for this sport or that sport, and then next thing you know, we're doing a rows for and I'm like, oh man, I almost actually didn't hate it. And then the more I heard it, the less I wish I heard it, because I started hating it again. We're so close. Sometimes it's so close yet so far.
Yeah, and again, then you have to. I think our industry needs to be better vetted. It's like, okay.
Yeah, that is the problem, right? You and I can't be a doctor. We haven't gone to med school.
No.
Any Joe Blow on the street could call himself a trainer tomorrow, have an Instagram account, and set at good abs on him, and right.
That's where I would like to think that our pedigree backs it up. It's like, don't judge us on our certifications, which we have them all, which is fine. Judge us on our wins and judge us on our losses. It's like, look at the brick wall. It's like, look how many of our kids have gone. So you don't think, like, if those are all our athletes doing amazing things, you don't think we've been involved since like the grassroots level on doing some of that shit and help them get there? We know we know what they've been through.
Dude, millions of dollars in scholarships and contracts.
Like, this is not new. So it's like, if I'm a parent saying, okay, well, my kid has potential, I want them to get physically better, I want them to train, great. So who are you trusting with the fucking job to get them prepared? How are you vetting these people?
Right.
Like, oh yeah, they jump, they clean. They do all the same things we do.
That's what I mean. That's where it falls apart.
Exactly. Everyone doing the same thing, but how? You're doing 5 and 10s, like, so explain to me how that's building explosive force. How is that? Like, it can't. So then you're essentially chasing ghosts. But again, where did they get the fucking information from? They just trust some guy like, hey, I've lifted weights before. Okay.
I brushed my teeth before. I'm not a dentist.
Exactly. Hey, I would argue too, like, I'm a pretty good squatter. I'm not a fucking powerlifting coach.
Right. Yeah. Totally. Yeah.
Right? Like I Olympic lift. I'm not an Olympic lifting coach. Yeah. So what the hell how the hell can I say that and be like, oh, I'm going to be an Olympic lifter? I'm not. You have to know your limitations. But at the same time, if I said I was a powerlifting coach, people would fucking believe me. Why?
Yeah, because you can pull 600 off the floor. Yeah.
Yeah, why?
Which is great, but that's not enough.
Same. Yeah, it's not the same thing. There's a difference. Like Tiger Woods has a coach, right? He's the best golfer in the world. Michael Jordan had a coach. Best basketball. There's a reason they have these coaches because they have perspective and they have experience helping shape elite development, both from the grassroots level and the professional level. So it's like knowing that experience. It's like I would hope that parents you have a bunch of excuses, valid or not, before you act on them, ask better questions. Come to the table with questions that might drive a solution to the excuses that you have before you make a decision. Don't just default back to what's fucking easy and believe your own bullshit because you're not helping your kid and you're not helping yourself. And then years are going to go by and you're going to wonder what the fuck happened.
Yeah.
Right? And then what's that going to teach them? Same shit. If they get to the next level, they're going to default back to the excuses they've had before. And then coaches at a higher level will not fucking tolerate it.
And then those are kids who, too, I think will fall out of love with training because we obviously want to have that lifespan of training their whole life. And what are they going to say? Well, I trained. I didn't get what I wanted, so training must not work. But really, the problem is you weren't doing the proper training, right?
Yeah. And again, I would just say, compared to everything else, like that's like going to volleyball practice. Like, oh, volleyball practice didn't work. It's like, well, how were you practicing?
Right.
Do you show up and just like serve balls all day, or were you working on drills? So it's like it's not just the what. I think parents get caught in the what, but they don't think that way with anything to do with the sport, right? They don't say, oh yeah, it's just practice. So just go in the backyard in the court and hit some balls. It's like you think that's practice? No, so that's not practice. So why would you confuse like, oh, we're just gonna go lift weights with training? It's like hold on now, like that's not the same thing. It's not just I'm gonna go to the gym and just throw some weights around. It's like you would never do that with anything else.
Well, it's actually a good point because it's funny, like with weightlifters, with powerlifters, a lot of time they call their session like practice. Weightlifters like, oh, I have 2 practices today. Like it just sitting here makes me wonder if we call this practice, weights practice, as funny as that sounds, you just wonder if it would reframe the mentality or something. I'm just kind of thinking that now.
Yeah, it's a good point.
When like I said, weightlifters, powerlifters, that is their sport, so it is practice.
Yeah.
But talking with successful teams like Coach Vic, what does Coach Vic say? I want the lifting sessions to be an extension of practice. So now I'm sitting here thinking, fuck, I wonder if we just said, hey, I have volleyball practice, and then in the evening I have weights practice, whatever you call it, some name with practice in it.
Call it the fucking name you want.
It just makes you kind of wonder if it would switch the mentality.
Yeah.
Set the tone a little better.
Yeah, I think it's always going to be, like I said, this is like deja vu every year, right? And you can tell. I find the most successful athletes like have kind of parents that let them be autonomous, that kind of let them ask questions, and you see those kids really thrive. Because again, it's like, if I have kids in the future, I would be the same way. It's like I know a lot of things, but I don't know those things, so I'm going to go default to someone else and let them ask the questions. Be like, hey, I'm going to, if you want to play hockey or whatever sport, I don't know anything.
Any sport you didn't play,
any sport you didn't play. I'm like, okay, great. I'm going to go talk to the coach. Like, talk to the coach, ask questions you want to ask. And then me as a parent, I'd probably be like, yeah, like, you've trained these teams, cool, awesome. Like, you practice with these players, that's awesome. Like, what do you do? Like, how do you, like, let me get inside your mind a little bit of like how you operate your shit. Those would be great questions. I wish parents would come to us with those questions. Like, so how would you get X, Y, Z? She wants to get here.
Yeah.
What's your thoughts on getting there? Okay, cool. I can help you paint the picture of, from my experience, what that looks like. Here's the things we do. Here's why these things matter or might not matter. Right? That's a solutions-driven conversation. Right?
Well, because there's kids who leave for a period of time for whatever reason. They come back and they're like, well, I'm playing my sport way better. And we test them on certain metrics, and it's like, yes, but all these physical things have gotten worse, or they haven't improved. So it's like, just imagine if these also improved, how much more you could even be springboarding your performance, right?
Exactly. That's the whole point. It's like you're building capability.
You've gotten better. That's great, but your capacity has
dwindled,
stayed the same, or even worse, gotten degraded.
Yeah.
So now it's like, just imagine if it didn't. Though, imagine if it was increasing.
Yeah. And
you were still getting better as far as your skill stuff. Like, that's where the magic happens.
Yeah.
That's where we have kids starting in their first year, dressing in their first year. That's where we have people in the pros playing right away, right? It's not by accident. They're not getting lucky.
No.
Promise you that.
No, like we have a history of very successful athletes. Very, and again, they all have the same mindset. I would say that again, it's not a sales pitch, but there's a reason athletes that do well here, they kind of mesh with the thought process that kind of lines up with the training process. It's like we're very blunt about like, this is going to be challenging. This is hard. The journey you're about to embark on is going to be a challenge, one that you chose, right? But we're going to do everything in our power. Right? If you bring the work ethic, we're going to do everything in our power to get you as close to that mark as we can. Right? And then they work. They come in day in and day out with a positive attitude. They ask good questions. We get them better. They don't justify bullshit or half-ass it, because if they half-ass it in here, they're not gonna last long, right? Like they kind of get weeded out, right? But then they're gonna look back and say, well, I didn't get anything out of it. It's like, well, what did you do? Again, you lifted weights, you ran, you jumped, you sprinted, but how did you do it?
Yeah.
Right? How? That's the question, parents. How did they do the thing? At practice, they don't just go to practice and just like throw balls around or like shoot a ball around a couple times. How did they practice? They were working on specific drills and scenarios. So then knowing that, why would training be any different? It's not just, oh, they jumped, they sprint, they lifted a weight up. It's like, how did they train to physically build capability?
Right.
And why are you trusting that on their own, which is the worst thing you could do, just throw them in a weight room and let them figure it out on their own, right? Versus, hey, let me go get a professional that's literally did this shit, right? So they can help them train with the time constraint they have better for the time. Right? We only have so much finite time. How do we maximize it? Boom. Versus good luck, throw on your own. You would never do the practice. Imagine like we have hockey practice. All right, kids, let's go out there and
get there and skate.
Get there and skate, practice. What does that mean? They don't fucking know. Yeah. They don't fucking know. Right? Or just put a parent volunteer out there. Yeah, go run a hockey practice. Some parent that's ever fucking coached a hockey team. Okay, yeah, I read some things on the internet. We're going to do this drill.
Right.
Like we even hear that problem sometimes with certain clubs too, because again, you have to have like some volunteer coaches. Sometimes you need a coach, and they don't really have any experience in sports. So what do they do when they get, they raise their hand to coach their kid's team?
Yeah.
They Google some things, YouTube some things, and that's all well and good. At least they're learning.
God bless them. They're trying.
They're trying, but is it to the same caliber of practice as an experienced coach? What makes them experienced?
Well, then you go play. Then you go play like a youth hockey team in Toronto, where the head coach is making $100K to coach his team.
Yeah.
And that's its own kind of crazy thing too. I'm not saying that's right or wrong. That's kind of crazy, but that's common.
Very.
So now, like, that's who we're gonna go play against, and you're gonna expect a good outcome. It's kind of like,
exactly.
David and Goliath. I mean,
it's
shit.
Literally the how. It's the fucking how. What caliber of practice or caliber of training are you doing, right? And you get what you pay for. Guys and girls that pay big money in Toronto and everything else for the hockey world as an example.
Yeah.
They usually get really good. Right, you played a private school. They usually get pretty good look. Why? It's because of the caliber that you're buying yourself into.
Yeah.
You're investing in something that is a higher caliber. They're doing the same drills probably, but how are they doing the drills? Faster, with better people, with more precise, more precision. Better all coaching. Those things, exactly. So it's like if you just send your kid to fucking high school weight class, they're probably better than nothing, maybe.
Yeah.
But you can't say it's the same fucking thing. So stop talking like it's on the same page. As if you want to be elite things. Why are you doing recreational decisions?
Yeah.
That makes no fucking sense. And again, it's only with training I see this happen.
Right. And I wasn't trying to be facetious before, like for the viewers or listeners, like we've had kids come home with a training packet from their schools and we look at it and it's like volleyball player, 100 hand cleans. And I'm not making this up. 100 hand cleans. And then I know you know, but people probably think I'm BSing. 100 hand cleans. And then I think it was 5x20 back squat. And like,
remember the deadlifts were huge too.
And then I think the deadlifts were on the same day.
That was fucked.
Some type of crazy volume, can't remember, it doesn't really matter. Crazy volume, same day. And then I swear to God, it was like leg press or calf raise or something. And like the descriptions were like 5 sets of 20 because we need to jump a lot, so we need endurance. And it was like,
where in the fuck that makes sense?
Man, like so close, but so far away.
Like, where is that? But again, how are you vetting these people that you're trusting with the training process?
That is the problem.
Again, for the listeners, like that was a college level program.
Yeah.
So who the fuck did you put there to develop collegiate athletes? You're absolutely fucked. But again, that's our own industry's fault because they weren't vetted. They don't know what questions to ask. And then I would just, the only question I would ask is like if I'm going to vet a strength conditioning coach and they're going to tell me like they can, they're running a university program, this will be like, okay, how? Show me your track record of guys and girls and how you, show me the KPIs that you can rationalize your job.
Yeah.
Show me, right? I'll take anything. Do you have a resume of athletes that have excelled to the next level? Do you have, if you're working with a collegiate team, do you have, a year or two of roster guys and you have some data on them of like how they improved? Or maybe you tracked how many injuries happened with the season?
Yeah, I was going to say time lost. Yeah,
time lost. Like, did that go down? Like, show me something so I have an ounce of belief in, okay, maybe what you're doing has some merit. Yeah. Because I get it. In this industry, it's really hard to quantify a lot of things. Right. But nonetheless, you can't just fucking always throw shit at the wall and hope it sticks because you're not helping the other problem we're talking about, which is, if parents have certain expectations of calibers of practice, they travel to certain clubs and want to work with certain coaches because of the caliber of practice. Practice is still practice, but how they run practice is different than this club, how they run practice.
Right.
Why the fuck is training any different?
And that's why I kind of had that idea, like maybe we just call this weights practice or strength and conditioning practice, whatever.
Fucking something.
Because, again, like you said, it's a bit loaded to evaluate a strength coach that way, but in the pros, that's how they do it. Time lost, and they can easily assign a dollar number to that, quantity lost. So these guys, some of these guys are making $2 million a game. You know what I mean? 20-week NFL season, making $40 million a year. So let's say you're making $2 million a game. They say, hey, if that guy is out for 2 games versus 3, that's an extra $2 million fucking dollars. Like, so at the highest level, like, it really matters.
It does.
And it really adds up.
It does.
At every level it matters, but like that's just a big example, right?
Huge.
Some of these guys are making stupid amounts of money. Imagine the MLB. Some of them making like 100 and something million a year.
Yeah.
So how many weeks you miss? Oh my God, it's like astronomical, the amount.
No, I like how Coach Kitch said it too when he talked about the hierarchy of...
He's been around it, right?
Of course.
Multiple capacities.
Of course, but these are reasons we trust these guys with knowledge. No different, like we pay for knowledge too.
Yeah.
Right? Like we invest in us getting better, right? We have people we talk to, we trust that have done the reason we talk to them is because they've done the fucking thing.
Yeah.
They have experience doing it and replicating it. It wasn't like a one-off thing, right? They've scaled it and have been doing it and replicating it time and time again with success. Yeah. So that to me is the merit value. It's like you're doing something
obviously didn't
right.
Get lucky.
Yeah, you're doing something right. Let me find out what it is. So for parents, just to throw kids into something and say they'll be fine, where the hell did you get that idea?
Yeah.
Where in your mind do you think that was a good idea?
Right.
You would not do it with anything else, but then you'd expect the same results?
Right.
Like
you said, a financial advisor would never advise anybody who has no money.
Yeah,
a dentist with cavities all over his mouth.
Like
you wouldn't.
You can ask a homeless guy for banking advice? Like, you're fucked?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like,
and they would laugh and say, well, of course not.
Then what the fuck?
Yeah, it's
what
the same thing.
Fuck? Like, back to what Kitch said. He was like, what made you good at grade 8 is not going to make you good at high school, is not going to make you good at university or college, and it's not going to make you good at pro. If you're 13 years old and you're 6'2", you're going to be good at basketball. Why? Because you're 6'2". When you get to high school, you're going to find guys.
A couple guys are 6'2".
There are a couple guys that are 6'2". So what made you good at 13 is not going to be the same in high school because everyone's 6'2" now. Yeah. Now what's the difference? Oh, they actually are practicing with intent. Okay, so now you got to be 6'2" and practice with intent. What's going to separate university? I'm physically.
Well, they're 6'8".
Now they're 6. Yeah, the guy's taller than you. So
basketball,
what made you good in high school isn't going to make you good at university. So now you have to be physically capable. You have to be structured. It's going to matter how you split those hairs. Those hairs get split more and more. It gets more narrow, right? Then you get to college. You want to go pro. Everyone's 6'2". Everyone's training hard. Everyone's fucking got a program. Everyone's structured. So now it becomes to how good are you at learning to adapt quicker than the rest of them, doing all the same things that they're already doing. Right? So it's like what Coach Kitch said too. It's like what made you go from a 400-pound deadlift to a 500-pound deadlift is not the same thing to get to a 600-pound deadlift. I have long arms. I can pull for 100 on a bad day just because I have long arms. Want to get to 500? Shit. Now I have to have a structured program to get to 500 pounds. Yeah. Shit. I want to get to 600 pounds? Great. Now I have to have a structured program, but the time of day I lift, how I sleep the night before, and the warm-up before I do it, I have to be so precise. So what got me from 4 to 5 is not the same to get me from 5 to 6, and so on and so on. So that caliber of specificity gets better over time, but you can't just do all that in one realm and fuck around in the other one.
Right. You might even get a coach at that point to say, hey, move your feet out an inch, adjust your hands a little bit. Hey, tuck your lats a little more. Like those small. The first time, and this is gonna be, you're gonna love this. The first time, you remember Brett Golding?
Yeah.
First time he ever did a power clean at Laurier, never power clean in his life. 125 kilos. Picked it up, fucking damn near reverse curled it. Looks at Tyson, goes, hey, is that right? Tyson is also an Olympic lifter, like by trade. Is that right? Tyson goes, sure. like no, but Jesus Christ, this guy just power clean, pretty much reverse curl, 275. So that's kind of like to your point. Some guys will kind of have that natural ability at the start, but to get him to 400, he's going to have to get into that nitty gritty, get into the weeds, kind of chase some of those small details, right?
You have to be able to, you have to earn the right to split hairs, right? But when you're at the grassroots level for training, it's really about building skills.
Yeah.
So why the hell would we grassroots and just say, fuck it, you're on your own, and then hope to fix it when they're 17 or 18 years old?
Right.
Are you like, where in the fuck does that make sense?
Right.
You know what I mean? Like you have them playing sports at 14 years old, they're learning the skills there, and when they hopefully become more elite when they're 17 or 18, they have a chance to be in college, university, whatever. Why the fuck, you're just going to wait until they're 17? Okay, now is the time. It's like, you're fucked. No, stop. That's bullshit. You know what I mean? It's like you have to earn the right to split hairs. There's a hierarchy of what those skills look like. And again, it's what made you good at that age is not the same as like you don't pay a guy because of a hammer. You pay him because he knows where to hit.
Right.
You have to find guys that know where to hit. Right. Like for us, for some reason, a lot of parents and coaches say, okay, this guy lifted weights. So essentially, everyone has a hammer.
Right.
Go ahead, and they're just going to start trying to find the spot to hit.
Yeah. You're gonna get lucky at some point, hit the right spot.
Maybe, right? But all of a sudden, you give us the hammer, we go like, done. Yeah. So it's like that took us half a second. This took you a minute to do.
Right.
So we saved you fucking time. And
right.
time was already constrained. It's like you pay the guys because they have a hammer, they know where to hit.
Right.
Versus just shoot and fucking hope you get lucky or, you know, worst case, not get hurt doing it.
Right.
You know what I mean? So it's like, it's crazy how, you know, parents invest in all those things. And I get it, you know, for their kids, and you want the best for them. They want all those things. But you can't have, you know, elite athlete expectations and make part-time athlete or recreational decisions. You can't. It's not going to work. And that's a brutal truth. You know what I mean? Like you literally want to like help educate these parents, but at some point there has to be a really big just reality check. Be like, here's the reality of what these guys will go through or girls will go through at this level. Here's what they're doing to get to that level. Are you doing those things? No. Then what makes you so special?
Right.
It's probably not going to happen then, right? Because again, there's always going to be outliers. Guys and girls that are just genetic freaks that, and again, the difference of elite and good athletes is their ability to learn. They learn quicker. A great example that came in today, Riley Zim, young girl, 13-year-old elite gymnast, right? Hasn't done some of these things before. I gave her one cue. She picked up the thing instantly and just looked textbook.
Right.
Her ability to learn was so quick, right? But average or good athletes take a bit longer to learn. So the difference between elite and great, right, or elite and great and good is going to be how quick are you to adapt? How quick are you to receive feedback and apply it, right? And that's where the good players really start to separate themselves, their ability to take a cue and apply it right away. It takes them less time to apply feedback, right? So knowing all that, that's how you can separate yourself in practice, right? Coaches expect, again, that's what we talk about training at a faster pace. Like you're going to go against better people at a faster pace for longer periods of time. It's because of how quick they can adapt, right? So to learn those skills and to get better at feedback and practice in our area, in our realm, you need to make sure you're learning the skills at a younger age. So when you get to 17, 18, now you're just refining and building on the skills you already have.
Yeah, the skills, and I got to say again, the skills and the habits.
Exactly.
Right. You go to university and they ask you all of a sudden to train, like lift twice a week in season, 3 times a week in season, 4 or 5 times off season. Like that should not shock you.
It should not come as a surprise.
Yeah, it should not, because
it should not come as a surprise.
They ask you to go 2 times in season. Like that should feel like a deload because you train your ass off in the off season, right?
Yeah, it's like I said, it's one of those things where, you know, you want to almost like get in front of the parents and just say, look, you don't know me, I don't know you, right? Why should you trust me? Great question. What do you want to know? What do you want to know for your kid? Where do you want them to get to? Yeah. Okay? Here's from my experience what we've seen with our kid in those sports. Here's how we prepared them. Here's what they were thinking. Here's what their day-to-day looked like. I'll happily disclose any of that information to help parents make better decisions for their kids, but also I want the kids there so they also learn and understand what the lifestyle is probably going to look like.
Right.
Because again, a lot of buzzwords. Everyone says the things: work hard, discipline, sacrifice, perseverance,
Yeah.
But then you just
how does it look like?
Yeah, you think you just snap your fingers and you're just gifted with perseverance, and you just snap your fingers and you're gifted with discipline? No. What happens is you're presented with opportunities to be disciplined. You're presented with opportunities to be perseverant. You have opportunities to work through challenge and build work ethic. You don't just snap your fingers, say the words, and you're it.
Right.
You're presented with opportunities and challenges to then build that capability. So why the fuck would we think otherwise?
Right.
That's to me is like the, again, long rant on that, but more parents need to be
long but important, because 7 years of doing it, 8 years, whatever you've been doing, 8 years of doing it, plus probably yourself even longer. It's still coming up. You know,
I feel it's always
so that's why we have to address it, like you said, because it's still coming up over and over again.
I also blame the industry for some of these things, because you have a lot of bums that just call themselves strength coaches, that call themselves trainers, and they sell snake oil to these parents and these coaches, and they have no merit. It's like a friend of the family, or it's like a buddy, or something like this. And again, all the power to them, they're willing to learn, but at some point, it's like we can't pretend we're on the same level.
Oh, my buddy who played college ball and has a 6-pack, and now they're coaching, and they're just going to use the program they had when they were in university.
Yeah.
Ironically, the university coach who wrote that program would probably be like, "Oh, I wouldn't do that. Like, don't just go give that to that high school kid. Like, don't, or sure as hell don't put my name on it.
Yeah.
I designed that for you and this team, not that kid." Like,
yeah, it is an industry thing that has to get resolved. It's not gonna be any time in our future. But the only thing I'll say to parents is like, ask better questions. Learn how to vet people you're trusting to establish a caliber of their kid. Just like any sport you do, right? Like I said before, a lot of kids will travel to these different clubs to play with different teams. Why? It's because the caliber of player and coach that are developing them, right? Again, if they're playing volleyball or playing basketball, there's still bumps at spike, they're still shooting a hoop, they're still cutting and dribbling, but how are they doing it? That's what the caliber is going to be like. So for parents, like, think of training the same way. Think of training the same way. It's not just lifting weights, not just jumping and sprinting and throwing weights around and lifting, squatting and all that stuff. How are we doing it?
Yeah.
That is the separation between just working out aimlessly versus optimal training dosage. There is a big difference, and parents should think of training the same way they would think of practice and picking teams for their kids. If their kid wants to be on the A team, what's that caliber of training and practice look like? Same for strength conditioning. It's like, what's that caliber of strength conditioning look like versus just being in the gym?
Right.
It's apples and oranges. Like, you wouldn't compare high school gym class to volleyball practice or basketball practice. There's a reason. There's different calibers of skill set involved and how they run their practices. So I think parents and sport coaches, honestly, too, should kind of have the same mentality towards the supplementary side. And that goes in all realms. Recovery, nutrition, therapy, all those things. There's a reason there's a higher caliber. You can't pretend that all these things are equal. Just because you say you're elite doesn't mean like you actually are elite. Show me your resume.
And the pros and the most elite people in the world have skill coaches, like you mentioned, but they also have strength coaches there too.
Yeah.
Right? So it's not like anybody expects these athletes to learn all the habits now at this age and then they'll just be good on their own to train themselves later. They still have coaches at the highest level.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. Like I said, I think it's something that needs to be said. I think, like, parents need to educate themselves on those things. And I would just say be prepared for the lifestyle that you're signing yourself and your kid up for. Like, I get it. I understand. It's a lot. I empathize for parents, and I God bless them, because like they drive their kids, probably multiple kids, to multiple places, multiple practices. I get it. Training is one more stop on the route that you're going to have to do, but you have to do it. You just have to, right? And if you're having to do it, I say you have to do it. So if you have to do it, make sure it's optimized for the time you have, and make sure you're actually at the caliber that you're wanting them to get to, versus just you're investing your own time and money into it, and then what are you getting in return? At the end of the day, like, we are results driven, right? We have a history of getting good results, metrics improving, and kids getting better at the highest level to then get paid for scholarships and pros and everything else like that. So make sure that you're maximizing the time, knowing how constrained it is. Maximize the time. Don't entrust it to just bullshit because it's easier and it checks the box. Be more purposeful with it. You would do it the same in practice. You do the same in every other realm of your life. Training should be no different. That's it.
Absolutely.
That's fucking it. Fuck. That was good. That was another rant. Shit. Necessary, though. Necessary. Last shout out I would say is obviously all of our hockey boys at training camp right now. Big shout out to Ben Moach out in Lindsay. Spades is back in Guelph. He'll be heading to Tampa soon. The Zim's doing great in Fort Erie. Mike Craig's at RMU. And all of our hockey guys had a hell of a summer. And again, big shout out to all of our athletes, our volleyball kids going back to school. Y'all did a fantastic job, right? We're so proud of you. We wish you guys nothing but the best this coming season. We'll be watching. We'll be following along. We'll be keeping in touch. We'll see you all at Christmas break, because we're ready to get after it. The job's not done. The job's not fucking done. Riverline's going for 3P. The job's not fucking done, man. We got shit to do. All right, everyone. This is Performance Matters Podcast. Thanks for tuning in.
Peace.